I'd like to call this meeting to order, the Quincy City Council meeting Monday, September 12th, 2022. It is now 6:32. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Andronico. Present. Counselor Kane. Present. Counselor Harris. Counselor Liang.
Present.
Counselor Mahoney.
Present.
Counselor McCarthy.
Present.
Counselor Palmucci. Counselor Phelan.
Present.
President DeBona.
Present.
7 members.
7 members. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Please rise if you can. If you can, would like to give a moment of silence, and please keep the 9/11 victims in your thoughts from 21 years ago. Please face the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the open meeting law.
Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, first item on the agenda.
2022-097, an appropriation for $27,272.73 for the FEMA Fire Equipment Grant Local Contribution.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. If I could, Quincy Firefighters Chief Joe Jackson is here tonight. If you'd like to come forward, and thank you. Thank you.
Councilors, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Just here to answer any questions that you might have about this grant. So just some of the basic particulars. Again, our grant writer is very successful. This is a FEMA grant in the amount of $300,000. One of the conditions of the grant is that the city has to chip in at least 10%. So FEMA will cover $272,000 and some change, and the city's portion would be $27,000, $272. And what this would do is, this would bring in a private company to teach us technical rescue skills. We'd be looking to train 20 firefighters and do 14 days of training. And so the backfill and the overtime is part of this grant, as is bringing in the private company to teach us these skills. So any questions that you might have? Or?
This is on the agenda, so feel free to. Councilor Phelan.
Just a couple, this seems like a great deal because the city's getting a huge amount of money.
It is.
And a bang for its buck with his tax dollar. It is my understanding that we don't have to advertise this, that this would be ready to be passed tonight. I think this is a tremendous way, good job getting the dollars and the tax. This saves the taxpayers a lot of money, and it also gives them an extra layer of protection.
These guys have brought in, since they've been doing this, just in like the past 5 years, like over $5 million. So they've really been incredibly successful. They do a great job with it. So.
And does this also help us with the manning on the fire or anything, keeping it up to the level it should be at?
That's a different kind of grant.
That's a different kind of
Yeah.
grant we're talking about. So this basically, the $27,000, we get almost $300,000 worth of money. Well, I
And
think-
this is to teach us technical rescue skills like high-angle rescue, confined space, trench rescue, stuff like that. Not the typical things that we do as firefighters with ladders and hoses and stuff like this. These are specialized skills that take specialized equipment, which we have, thanks to you helping us out to have this equipment on hand. So it's a very good deal.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I would like to, I know other councils like to speak on it, but I would also like to move passage on this.
Motion made by Councilor Phelan to approve. Second by Councilor McCarthy, and on the motion, go ahead, Richard.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening.
I think when it comes to this, anything, when we're dealing with public responders, period, police, fire, or whatever it is here in the city of Quincy, the council's been very good. And when it has to do with just enhancing a program or a grant to assist in health and safety of the firefighter. I don't think there's any question, so I'm in full support of this, Mr. President, and I do love to, I'm going to move on this. I agree with Councilor Phelan. We'll move on it tonight and take care of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other? Counselor Mahoney, you have the floor.
Very much, Chief. I actually, I think this is great, especially with some of the development that we have that's happening in the city right now.
Yes.
I mean, it seems to be more fires that you guys are going to, and it's not going to be something, I hope it's something that doesn't happen very often, so you guys don't have to go to them, but it is something that concerns me when I hear about them, and you know that you're putting your life in danger when you're going out there, you're saving people as well. But we also have a lot of development that's going on, and they're getting taller, and sometimes the materials that we're doing, I'm not sure they say that they're fire protected, but you're the guys that have to go in there and do it. So anything that can help you learn any more survival skills when you're going in there, or to be able to get people out is a benefit for the city. So I thank you very much. The grant is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And, anything that we can match, and if we get more, we can train. Is it 25? Did you say 25 people will be trained with this?
20.
20.
Yeah.
20. So that's great, so.
It is, it's a good amount of guys, but thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you
no,
very much.
Thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
Chief, thank you for your time coming up here tonight. Thanks for the other Quincy firefighters that came in here tonight. Also, very much to thank you on September 11th at the
Yeah,
Quincy
thank you
Fire
for being there. I
Department.
appreciate it.
Over the weekend, I know a lot of other counselors attended that. Thank you for, and also other Quincy police officers as well as other first
Yeah.
responders having it out there. It was really nice.
Appreciate everybody showing up.
This is great for the city, especially anytime we can piggyback off of any FEMA, federal funding, Emergency Management Agency to help us here in Quincy, Massachusetts. So I
Yeah.
want to thank you for all your time and energy and your grant writing group
Yeah.
and team.
Thank
And
you.
all the firefighters to take us to the next level. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Have a good night.
So motion made by Councilor Phelan and a second by Councilor McCarthy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Andronico.
Yes.
Counselor Kane.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor Mahoney.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Phelan.
Yes.
President DeBona.
Yes.
7 members.
7 members, unanimous vote.
Thank you so much.
Motion carries. Thank you.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much, Chief. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 2, 2022-098, a resolve seeking 2022 City of Quincy project status update.
Council Mahoney, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. So this is just a resolve that I'm asking for the city administration to come back before us. We can put this into oversight, but really, we have bonded millions of dollars. We've allocated funds for other projects, and, there's a lot of projects that are going on throughout the city, whether it's in the park department, the public works, traffic light and paving, or paving through the streets of the city of Quincy. For some of them, many of these departments have a lot of work that get done during the summer. We would love to have an update as to what those projects are that have started and have gotten completed, but there's some that have started or have not started, they stalled, or due to various reasons we haven't really kicked them off. So we have bonded millions of dollars of money for some of these projects, but we don't know where they stand or what's happening with them. So there's been many questions that have been raised to me, and I'm sure to many of the other counselors, that, the taxpayers are looking to have regular, timely updates on these types of projects to find out what's happening, for the ones that are happening, what the progress is, what the status is, and when things are going to be completed, and for those that are not, where they stand and why they haven't, and what's going to happen. And, more importantly, what happens to those bonds as we sit on them. I know we're not using them, but I do tell people that if we're not spending it, that's a good thing too, but we really need those updates. So I'm asking that this be put into oversight and have our various department heads come up, and some of the larger projects, you can go around the city, they're throughout the city. It can be the Greenleaf Building that had started years ago, still hasn't had any much progress in that building. That was money that was allocated as well, to the Maritime Center, to other projects that have been on hold, and then other projects such as the updates that we had to the school buildings this past summer, or to the streets and paving. So that's pretty much the heart of what this resolve is about, and if we could put it into oversight, that would be great.
So motion made by Council Mahoney to put this in oversight. Do I have a second? Seconded by Council Liang. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Andronico.
Yes.
Counselor Kane.
Yes.
Counselor Liang.
Yes.
Counselor Mahoney.
Yes?
Counselor McCarthy. Counselor Phelan.
Yes.
President DeBona.
Yes.
7 members.
7 members, motion carries. It's going to go into oversight. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 3, 2022-099, a gift for $6,101 from various donors for DARE.
Approve?
Motion made by Counselor Phelan to approve, seconded by Counselor Yang. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 4, 2022-100, gift for $375 from various donors to Deer Camp.
Mr. President?
Yes?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve made by Counselor Phelan, seconded by Counselor Yang. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous vote. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 5, 2022-101, gift for $2,500 from Copeland Family Foundation, Inc., to Friends of Wollaston Beach.
Mr. President, I'd like to move this and make a brief comment on it. This is funds that come in from the Copeland Foundation, the regular funds. It goes to funding projects that are done by the Friends of Wollaston Beach. This helps them pay for the different programs that are going to come up during the fall of this year. So I'd like to move approval on that, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made by Counselor Phelan, seconded by Counselor Yang. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Number 6, 2022-102, gift for $6,000 for Copeland Family Foundation, Inc., to the Quincy Animal Shelter.
Mr. President, again, this is from the Copeland Family Foundation. It goes to the animal shelter to help them run their operations. It's a great little donation that we get every year, and I'd like to move approval.
Motion made to approve by Counselor Phelan, seconded by Counselor Yang. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. That ends our agenda items for tonight. Approval of previous meeting minutes from June 21st, 2022. Motion made by Counselor Yang. Do you have a second on this?
Second.
Second, any discussion on these minutes from the 21st of June? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. One more previous meeting minutes, which is August 24th of 2022. Motion made by Counselor Yang. Do you have a second? Seconded by Counselor Phelan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries to approve the August 24th, 2022 meeting minutes. Communication and reports from the mayor, other city officers, and city boards. Before the city clerk, I believe, has a few utilities and traffics.
Thank
You
you.
may have the floor.
These are to be referred to the Ordinance Committee for Advertising, Ward 2, Counselor Andronico. Add handicap parking to 190 Elm Street. Add handicap parking to 100 Arnold Street. Ward 3, Counselor Kane. Add handicap parking at 183 Safford Street. No parking both sides of Parker Street from Granite Street to 470 feet west of Granite Street. Ward 4, Counselor Palmucci. Add handicap parking at 46 Smith Street, 44 Smith Street, 14 Center Street, and 9 West Street. Counselor, Ward 5, Counselor Phelan. Add 2-hour parking north side of Green Street, Elm Ave, and, yes,
I realize this is a recommendation, but this will be going into ordinance and advertise. Could I amend? I've since had a meeting with the people on the street, and I will look to amend it to put 2-hour parking both on the north side and south side.
and south side. We'll advertise it as well.
Okay. I don't know if I need a vote on that to amend it.
Motion to amend the 2-hour parking on
Green Street.
Green Street to Elm Ave. Do I have a second? Seconded made by Counselor Yang. Any discussion on that? Seeing none. Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, so there's an amendment to that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Continue, Madam Clerk.
Add no parking on the south side of Green Street, Elm Ave, and Waterston Ave. Add handicap parking to 110 Green Street, and 117 Phillips Street. Ward 6, Councilor Harris, add handicap parking at 60 Freeman Street. Also, this evening, we have to refer to Public Works Committee for scheduling and advertising 3 grants of location. Grant of location, Mass Electric, Verizon, Willard Street and Bates Ave. National Grid, Broad Street, Field Street for the Public Safety Building. And Mass Electric, Verizon, Columbia Street, MBTA Parking Garage project.
So if we could, because of all of the referring to different committees, the first traffic reports for the ordinance committee to be advertised. Ordinance Chair McCarthy, can you entertain a motion to put these into ordinance?
Motion to put them all into the ordinance committee.
Motion made by Council McCarthy, put these in the ordinance for advertising as well. Do I have a second? Seconded made by Council Yang. Any discussion on these? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Those will be put all into ordinance. Any of the public works? I believe Councilor Harris is missing today for the meeting, but refer to Public Works for the scheduling and advertising of the utility requests. Can I get a motion or? Motion made by Councilor,
Should we look to schedule, I mean, if they're looking to get this done, and we're meeting a week from now? No,
It's got to be advertised.
it's got to be advertised.
okay.
No problem.
This is just to
Thank you.
advertise it. And Councilor Phelan, do you make the motion?
I make the motion.
Motion made by Councilor Phelan to advertise at Public Works. Do I have a second? Second made by Councilor Liang. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? The ayes have it. That's going to go into Public Works and also advertising. Is there any other items on there, Madam Clerk?
No, no, sir.
No other items on there. Any other communication reports from the mayor, other city officers, and city boards? Councilors? Unfinished business and proceeding minutes? Councilors? Reports of committees? Councilors? Presentation of petitions, memorials, and remonstrance? Councilor Liang, you have the floor.
Thanks. I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Mid-Autumn Festival. It was this past Saturday, and it's, barring Lunar New Year, the biggest holiday in the API culture. And so it's mostly about, I mean, I think all of our, celebrations are about prosperity, but this one in particular is about togetherness and just coming together to celebrate, being with one another, especially after the last couple of years we've had. And so I don't know what folks are doing this weekend, but I hope that people are able to enjoy the holiday by being together. And I wish you all great prosperity.
Thank you,
That's it.
Madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Liang. Any other folks? Motions, orders, and resolutions? Seeing none. Scheduling of committee meetings and public hearings? Anything? Councilman Mahoney?
Can we go back?
Yes, sure, no problem.
I attended today.
Councilman Mahoney, go ahead.
Today was the, Jim Timmons' brother, Donald Timmons, passed away today, and I was able to go to the Mass. And I just thought maybe one of the other counselors was going to say something, but I just wanted to mention that this is Jim's older brother. It was a heartfelt Mass that they had today, and it was a sudden loss in the family. And I know everybody here in the council, their hearts go out to the Timmons family, but I just wanted to mention that because it's, having the experience of losing a sibling, it doesn't matter how old somebody is, it's a very hard thing to do. But Mr. Timmons, Donald Timmons wasn't just a member of the Timmons family, he was also a member of Karen's Corner. He was a partner to Karen Smith as well, and I didn't know that until I read his obituary. And I know that's another person in our community who's suffering great pain, and I just wanted to mention that and let her know, and the Timmons family know that our hearts and prayers are with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other council members? Real quick, before I go into the city council meetings that we have on Monday nights, is everybody who's a chair, try to get your chairmanships in and try to get your anything on these agendas in the little white book that you want to get on early in the season, if you can, to get the meetings in. We may certainly start at 6:30, and we go into our regular council meeting at 7:30, so everything in your white book. If you feel free to try to get the committee meetings on, if there's any other things that are from last season. We have Monday, September 19th, so we're going to go a week from today. We're also going to go Monday, October 3rd, and Monday, October 17th. So just let us know if you cannot make the meetings. Other than that, counselors? Counsel Palmucci is not here to, motion made by Counsel Liang to adjourn. You are